If you've seen Beetlejuice about 167 times, then once you finish this video, you're going to want to see it 168th time. Keep watching so it'll be even funnier the next time you see it. While Beetlejuice is all about ghosts, monsters, death, and other objectively spooky stuff, it's actually not all that scary. This is thanks to Michael Keaton's delightfully hammy work and the non-stop bits of comedy to keep things from tipping into full-bore horror. As it turns out, all that stuff happened during rewrites and filming. In its earliest conceptions, Beetlejuice was a very different movie. In Michael McDowell's script, the Maitland's death scene is quite graphic and traumatic. After that, they enlist the help of Beetlejuice, who isn't so much an edgy clown in stripes as he is an evil demon with wings. While he attempts to simply scare away the new residents of the Maitland's old house in the movie, he pretty much tries to kill them in the original draft. His relationship with Lydia Deetz is especially predatory, as the ghost tries to get with her in a way that's even more inappropriate than the final film, before he tears her apart. Portraying Beetlejuice was a surprising departure from Michael Keaton, a star who was at that point previously known for his regular guy roles in comedies like Gung Ho and Mr. Mom. His performance here showed he was more than capable of pulling off horror, gonzo comedy, and well, just about anything. To reinforce that, immediately after Beetlejuice, director Tim Burton cast him as Bruce Wayne in Batman.
You're working with a professional here!
Burton is a quirky filmmaker who often makes off-the-wall casting decisions. While Keaton might have been a somewhat surprising choice, he actually wasn't even Burton's first pick for the title role. He initially wanted beloved actor crooner Candyman and all-around entertainer Sammy Davis Jr. for the part. Up to that point, the script called for the character to be a bit more evil, with a Las Vegas lounge singer kind of vibe. Since Davis was a former Rat Packer, he fit the bill in that last regard. Credit for Keaton's casting goes to producer David Geffen, who talked Burton out of his pick and suggested he check out the future Dark Knight instead.
You like it?
During Burton and Keaton's first meeting, the former tried his best to explain Beetlejuice's far-out concept to his eventual star, and apparently he didn't do such a great job of communicating his admittedly outlandish ideas. In a conversation with Charlie Rose in 2014, Keaton said, "I didn't understand what he was talking about, but I liked him. I went, oh well, this guy's something."
I said, I wish I could do it. You seem like a really nice guy, and I know you're creative, but I don't know what I don't get it.
Burton was able to convince Keaton to meet again, and that time he went into more detail about the project. The actor still didn't understand and politely declined Beetlejuice once more. Undeterred, Burton persuaded him to take a third meeting, and this time he rattled off some ideas that Keaton said just logged in his brain. He asked Burton for some time to think it over, which he spent building the character so he could wrap his mind around it.
Say it once, say it twice, third time's the charm.
Keaton called up some associates at the production studio's wardrobe house and asked for various clothing choices from different time periods. He also requested some help in creating the character's appearance. He wanted his hair to look like he was shocked by an electrical outlet and his face to have mold on it. All that stuff wound up in the character's final design. Tim Burton wanted to call the movie Beetlejuice, but he had to put up a bit of a fight to make it happen. As a young filmmaker at the time, Burton had to deal with a certain amount of studio interference, and executives initially planned to give the movie the bland and forgettable title, House Ghosts. He hated that idea, so he tried to play a little game with his bosses. He suggested the title Scared Sheetless instead, thinking the powers that be would relent and let him go for Beetlejuice. But the plan backfired. The studio actually liked Scared Sheetless and seriously considered releasing the movie under that title. Ultimately, Burton got his way after threatening to hurl himself out a window. Over 30 years later, the role of awkward teenage goth Lydia Deetz still ranks among Winona Ryder's most definitive and popular performances. Beetlejuice launched the young actor into mega-stardom and marked her first collaboration with Tim Burton, with whom she'd work again on Edward Scissorhands and Frankenweenie. Looking back, it's hard to believe that Ryder just barely landed the part, and only landed it after beating out an actor who doesn't seem very Burton-esque at all. Who's the Boss teen sensation, Alyssa Milano.
I myself am strange and unusual.
In a 2016 interview with HuffPost Live, Milano revealed that casting for the part of Lydia came down to two choices, Ryder and herself. When reflecting on how badly she wanted the part, she said, "You always wonder what would have happened differently in my life had that worked out. Not that I would want it to be any different, but it's just an interesting thought game." Burton helped Catherine O'Hara's career with Beetlejuice, and the movie had a major effect on her off-screen life too. Brooding, mysterious, odd. These are words one would use to describe Tim Burton, but probably not romantic or matchmaker. Still, according to O'Hara, he exercised that part of his personality on the set of Beetlejuice. Bo Welch served as the movie's set designer, so he was very much responsible for giving the film its sensational and original postmodern horror look. And Burton thought that he and O'Hara would make a very cute couple, so he tried to make it happen. O'Hara told Digital Spy that Tim actually set us up to date.
If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me!
They hit it off, and a couple of years later, Welch and O'Hara got married and had 2 children. Those kids owe their lives to a casting switcheroo. Their parents may never have met if O'Hara hadn't replaced Angelica Houston, who won the role of Delia but had to drop out of the project after she fell ill. One unexpected ripple effect of Beetlejuice, it made Calypso cool again, which hadn't been in the pop consciousness much since Harry Belafonte topped the charts in the 1950s and early 60s.
I didn't even know I could do the calypso.
During a dinner party, new haunted house residents Delia and Charles Deetz and their guests become compelled by ghostly forces to perform a musical number set to Deo. That's just one of multiple Belafonte songs in the movie. In the opening minutes, Alec Baldwin's Adam Maitland listens to Sweetheart from Venezuela. Later, Lydia joyfully dances and floats to Jump in the Line, Shake Senora. And Deo also plays earlier in the film when Gina Davis's Barbara Maitland peruses the Handbook of the Recently Deceased while Adam works on his model. None of that appeared in the first version of Michael McDowell's screenplay. When writer Warren Scarron took a pass, his draft included classic R&B. The haunted dinner party scene involved the humans dancing to the Ink Spots' If I Didn't Care and suggested that Lydia would provide a rendition of When a Man Loves a Woman. Where did the calypso come from? Catherine O'Hara. According to her on-screen husband Jeffrey Jones, O'Hara suggested that the musical form would liven up the dinner party scene. Tim Burton and the rest of the filmmaking team dug the idea, so they set about getting the rights to old calypso tunes and threading them throughout the movie. He's gone on to log numerous hits and cult classics, but Beetlejuice might be Tim Burton's signature movie. All his calling cards are present: a ghoulish protagonist, a mixture of high comedy and spooky darkness, and quaint puppet and model-based special effects. In Beetlejuice, our title character attempts to terrify the Deetz family out of the former Maitland home by rising up out of a town model. Michael Keaton appears ghostly white, mouth agape, and wearing a mobile on his head that's comprised of little dragons and hideous sea monsters. This mobile comes in the form of a black and white striped tube hat to match his primary costume. And the top of the umbrella-like contraption is overseen by a little model of some kind of undead creature. That creature is a dead ringer for Jack Skellington, the main character in Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas, which wasn't released until 5 years after Beetlejuice. Given how popular it remains, the absence of a sequel to Beetlejuice is surprising, but it isn't for a lack of effort. Shortly after the first film, Burton created an outline that writer Jonathan Jims turned into a script titled Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. As Jims told Fangoria, Tim thought it would be funny to match the surfing backdrop of a beach movie with some sort of German expressionism, because they're totally wrong together. Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian was publicly announced in 1990 with Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and Jeffrey Jones all agreeing to reprise their roles. The story found the characters heading to Hawaii to check up on Deetz construction project, a casino built on top of a sacred Hawaiian burial ground. Along the way, Lydia visits the worlds of the undead and Beetlejuice wins a surfing contest. But then Warner Brothers offered Burton total creative control on Batman Returns, so he and Keaton went off to do that. Interest died, the actors moved on, and the script was never filmed. Nor was a subsequent effort by Beetlejuice co-writer Warren Scarron called Beetlejuice in Love, in which the ghost with the most offers up his services to some new characters. In 2011, Warner Brothers decided to explore a sequel once more with a script potentially written by Pride and Prejudice and Zombies author Seth Grahame-Smith. That never turned into cinematic gold either. However, the Beetlejuice sequel has yet to find itself in the Lost Souls room. Efforts to bring a second film to life continued, and in February of 2022, Plan B, a production company founded by Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, and Brad Gray, became involved. Will Beetlejuice 2 finally be resurrected? Only time will tell. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.